General Hospital spoilers report Sonny Corinthos has never been one to back down from a fight, but his latest battle might be one he can't win alone. General Hospital is gearing up for a dramatic arc as Sonny's long-ignored heart condition takes center stage. Diagnosed months ago with a serious cardiac issue, the mob boss has brushed off doctors' warnings, insisting he's fine and delaying a critical surgery. His stubbornness, however, might soon catch up with him, leading to a health crisis that leaves his life hanging in the balance. As his old friend Lois Cerullo watches him falter, she's forced to confront a secret she's kept for years, that Giovanni Gio Palmieri is she and Sonny's grandson. With Sonny's fate uncertain, will Lois finally spill the truth? Sonny's heart trouble has been a ticking time bomb, with symptoms like dizziness and chest pain creeping into his tough guy routine. Despite pleas from his family to get the surgery, he's waved them off, claiming he's too busy handling Port Charles underworld to lie on an operating table. Medics rush him to GAVES, where Dr. Portia Robinson delivers grim news. His condition has worsened, and without immediate intervention, he might not make it. As his family gathers, Sonny's refusal to prioritize his health could cost him everything. Lois has been a steady presence in Sonny's orbit lately, their shared Brooklyn roots rekindling their easy rapport. But her secret about Gio, conceived years ago and hidden to protect him from Sonny's dangerous world and to prevent Dante Falconeri from even finding out, will weigh heavier as she watches him fight for his life. In a tearful bedside vigil, Lois may wrestle with this guilt. If Sonny doesn't pull through, she'd lose the chance to give her old friend a legacy worth living for. If Sonny survives his latest setback, Lois' revelation could reshape the Corinthos clan. Gio, already a talented violinist with a quiet charm, might step into Sonny's world, willingly or not. But if Sonny doesn't make it, Lois' truth could come too late, leaving her to navigate the fallout with a grieving family. Will she be able to mend the rift that is sure to ensue when she tells him of the secret she helped Brooklyn keep all these years, away from him and Dante, and away from Olivia Quartermain? Stay tuned for more GH news and spoilers to find out. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. For weeks, viewers have watched Drew and Willow sink lower and lower than we ever thought they could. Surely this had to all be leading to a Who Tried to Kill Drew storyline, right? We still may get there, but Friday's episodes set up a different type of conflict. Stunned that Willow moved Michael's children in with Drew, Carly finally let her soon-to-be ex-daughter-in-law have it. The mudslinging between Carly and Willow was great, and Willow was no match for Carly. I have to give Willow a point for saying Carly's altruistic mother routine was as fake as she was. It also pains me to give Drew a point or two for noting Carly has a long list of related people she slept with in reaction to Carly saying Willow sleeping with Michael's uncle was disgusting. Drew also got a verbal hit in there by reminding Carly that she kept Michael from age 8, but Carly hit the home run by saying Willow was just like Nell. Ouch! Carly made it clear that if Michael couldn't be here to protect his children, she'd do it and make sure Willow never saw her kids again. Yeah, that was going too far, Carly. However, it sounds like a custody battle is coming. And speaking of a custody battle, Michael's prognosis has been brought up a lot lately. There have been comments about how he's responding to treatment and making significant improvements, and everyone hopes he'll be home soon. So it wasn't that much of a shock when news broke that it appears Michael's role is being recast. I'm picturing Carly getting the custody ball rolling, and Michael making a surprising return when he walks into the courtroom as the court is in session. Props must also be given to Sasha, who told Jason Willow's gone from dawn of day to dawn of Drew. I was so happy to see one of the characters make a cult insult. I was on the right track in last week's column when I thought, Ava would use Kristina's latest stunt to blackmail Sunny for custody and money. However, she went to Alexis, not Sunny, for cash from the Cassadine estate. I thought I'd enjoy Ava having this leverage over Kristina much more than I do. However, like many other viewers, I am just burnt out on this Ava and Kristina feud. Alexis leaned on the counsel of her bestie and law partner Diane, who finally suggested what most of us rational humans have been saying all along. Kristina needs help, serious mental help. Diane advised that the best way to set Kristina up to not have to serve years in prison is to have her committed to Ferncliff. Surprisingly, Alexis agreed. So if Alexis follows through with this and commits Kristina, how will she explain it to Molly? Will Ava back down or take another approach? And of course, if we see Kristina play out her time in Ferncliff, what familiar face is she bound to run into there? Why not just throw a not-so-dead amnesiac Nell in there with Kristina at this point? The saddest part of this storyline is what the truth coming out will do to Elizabeth and Lucky's relationship. So Marco is in fact the son/brother previously known as Aloy, who gave up his brilliant music career because of his overbearing mother Natalia. And like Allison/Blaze, Natalia tried to push him back into the closet too. Natalia is never winning any Mother of the Year awards at this point. His name wasn't the only thing changed about the character, as Blaze never once mentioned her brother was also gay. She only mentioned an uncle she suspected, who dropped off the face of the earth years ago. What was with Jack's warning to Sidwell that people who cross Sunny usually end up dead? Are we back to the idea that Sidwell was the one who had the bomb planted in Sunny's penthouse? And what is really in that vial of supposed zincite in its raw form that he gave to Lucy? Last week, Emma's super-secret locked arrest records had me wondering if she was another one of Jack's recruits. Friday's episode made it clear she wasn't, but that it could happen. The WSB had a hand in the NDA and keeping Emma out of jail, likely because of her connection to Anna. But also, Emma basically regurgitated the same spiel Brennan did to Joss about wanting to battle injustice, and sometimes that meant crossing lines. Now we have found out Emma loves Professor Dalton's environmental physics class, and Joss has been assigned as her first mission to get close to said professor. I think it won't be long until Emma follows Joss and Anna in joining the WSB. So Lois is back. Please let that mean this secret about Geo is close to being exposed. Dante and Lulu are exhausting. Their fight over Brooklyn and the past gave me a headache, and this Lulu has more chemistry with Cody than she does Dante. A.J. Turner has set her sights on bringing Anna down. As flippant as Anna's character has been lately regarding the law and who she does and does not protect, I have no interest in this storyline. Finally, Portia is still digging around in Drew's medical records, hoping to find something. A fan theory going around the recap comments is that Drew might not be the real Drew. Given that she specifically told Brad to include the Jake Doe files with others she wants him to dig up for her, it sounds plausible. I'm actually hoping she stumbles upon the flash drive with Drew's original memories on it. Oh, what she could do with those. General Hospital spoilers reveal that we have to ask an important question about Jason Morgan's future. Will Jason ever have another love like Sam McCall? Many GH fans still feel cheated since Sam's demise slammed the door shut on the possibility of Jason reuniting with her for one final chapter. As long as Sam was alive and on canvas, viewers could hang on to hope that she might get back together with Jason one day. Sam and Jason supporters were certainly hopeful that their favorite couple might eventually come back around. Sadly, that can never happen now that Sam's in the grave. It was disappointing to see Sam and Jason's chance at happiness get buried as well. Of course, this is a soap where anything can occur. No one can rule out the idea of Sam making a comeback with some wild explanation, if Kelly Monaco works out a new deal down the road. For now, viewers are still mourning the loss since the show got rid of Kelly Monaco and her character last fall. Although Jason has other love interest options, many fans just aren't all that excited about them. Jason is pretending to be Sasha Gilmore, Corbin's baby daddy, so it's possible this arrangement will lead to love and a real family forming. It's also possible Jason and Anna Devane will get passionate up his room above Bobby's, since they've designated it as their secret meeting spot from here on out. Even Jason's reunion with Carly Spencer could be an option after her romance with Jack Brennan ultimately falls apart. Jason could also fall for someone new down the line, but will any of these women ever be able to compete with what he felt for Sam? Was Sam a once-in-a-lifetime love for Jason that he'll never replace? Jason will have to do some soul-searching and make some predictions about what's next romantically, so stay tuned for updates on what the future holds. General Hospital spoilers say Jason may be haunted by the loss of Sam indefinitely, so stay tuned for any surprising news ahead. General Hospital spoilers indicate that Emma Scorpio Drake may already be involved with the WSB. This may have been a cover-up involved in Emma's arrest at Berkeley, and the WSB could very well be behind that. Emma's return to Port Charles could be for a very specific reason unbeknownst to us yet. Is it possible that Emma is already a WSB agent back for a specific mission? It makes perfect sense that Emma would follow in her grandparents', Anna Devane and Robert Scorpio's footsteps, and that revelation could come out soon. Emma has never been seen attending a class, but she is seen passing out flyers and going to protests for her animal rights cause. She may have gotten kicked out of Berkeley, but that could have aligned with WSB training. Something definitely seems to be fishy, as Emma could very well be at PCU for an undercover assignment. Emma might be doing something related to animal testing, but it could be for her WSB work. Jocelyn recently completed her WSB training and is back in Port Charles. She is also posing as a PCU student, but she has dropped out, unbeknownst to anyone. Jack Brennan has admonished her that she cannot reveal to anyone what she is really up to, and Jocelyn is playing her role very well. Jocelyn will soon receive her first WSB assignment and learn exactly what it entails. Emma and Jocelyn have a long-time rivalry stemming from their childhood. It doesn't help that their mother, Robin Scorpio Drake, and Carly Spencer do not like each other. It seems like Jocelyn and Emma have found common ground and do some bonding, which could bring them closer. They might start to understand each other. Brennan and Vaughn would meet with Jocelyn and tell her what her first WSB mission entails. Jocelyn would be excited, but then shocked to learn that she is not doing it alone, that she will need a partner. Enter Emma, who has recently joined the WSB and returned to Port Charles for their joint mission. At first, Jocelyn would be surprised that her former childhood foe is her partner, but Emma would assure that she thinks that he can work well together. What do you think? Do you think that Emma is hiding something, and could that be that she is a WSB agent? Will Jocelyn and Emma become partners in Jocelyn's first assignment? Will Jocelyn and Emma work well together? General Hospital spoilers indicate that the secret regarding Gio Palmieri's true paternity is going to be revealed soon. This would create a great amount of fireworks on the canvas, as it would change the life of Brooklyn Quartermain and Dante Falconeri forever, as they would be shocked to discover that they are in fact Gio's biological parents. However, one person knew this the whole time, and that is Lois Cirillo, who kept the secret to protect her daughter, Brooklyn, who no doubt will see this revelation as a huge betrayal. Another person bound to see this as an unforgivable act is Olivia Quartermain, Gio's other grandmother and Lois's best friend since childhood. When the truth is uncovered, Olivia will have some new opinions about her lifelong friend, Lois. When the Gio revelation comes out, Olivia would confront Lois about her keeping the secret and lying to everyone for years. Lois would insist that she did what she thought was best and was only acting to protect Brooklyn. Of course, Olivia would not see it that way, as Dante had a right to know he had a son, and she had a right to know that she had a grandson. She would tell her how cruel it was to bring Gio to Port Charles and have him live under their nose, all the while Lois knew the truth about him. Olivia would have told Lois that she should have been honest when Gio first came to Port Charles, and eventually she would have been forgiven. But Lois kept quiet, and that is what hurts. After a showdown between Lois and Olivia, Olivia would tell her that she will never forgive her for what she has done. Olivia is devastated by this, and she doesn't know how their friendship can move forward. Brooklyn, Dante, Ned Quartermaine, and Tracy Quartermaine would all feel the same way. She would tell Lois that she excluded everyone from the truth, and it was wrong. She could have helped her break the news to Brooklyn if she chose to be honest with her about it. Lois knew what this secret would cost her, which is why she kept quiet. Olivia tells Lois that she will never trust her again, and that their friendship is over. A distraught Olivia would banish Lois from her life, and she would tell her that she never wants to see her again. Olivia would tell her that she needs to leave Port Charles, and she never wants to see her again. Lois would plead and beg for forgiveness, but Olivia would be nowhere near ready to forgive. She would banish her from her life, and she would tell her that their bond is broken for good. Brooklyn would echo her sentiments and tell Lois it's best if she leaves. A devastated Lois would decide to leave Port Charles and return to Bensonhurst. What do you think? Will the Gio revelation come out soon? Will it fracture Olivia and Lois's friendship for good? Will Olivia ask Lois to leave Port Charles? Keep watching General Hospital, weekdays on ABC, to find out what happens next. General Hospital spoilers reveal that Dante Falconeri's birthday party may blow up. Is this when Dante will find out Brooklyn Quartermaine has been hiding their firstborn son? Brooklyn has wrestled with whether to finally come clean to Dante, but she fears a confession would do more harm than good. At this point, Brooklyn feels like it's best to let things ride and avoid derailing Dante's life. Since Brooklyn still struggles with questions and what-ifs, she doesn't want to burden Dante with the truth. Plus, Brooklyn knows this news could affect Lois Cerullo and her own relationship with Dante, as well as Olivia Quartermaine, so she's decided not to rock the boat. However, Brooklyn should know by now that secrets don't stay buried forever in Port Charles. Although Brooklyn plans on keeping Dante in the dark, she won't be able to stop the big reveal that's looming. It's pretty common for major revelations to happen at important events on soaps. That's why we've got some suspicions when it comes to Dante's upcoming birthday party, which Sunny Corinthos will throw for him on April 17. Since GH writers are delivering a fun bash with Dante as the guest of honor, this feels like the prime opportunity to blow up his world. Could this be when Dante will discover the pregnancy Brooklyn kept from him and the grown adopted child they share? Other General Hospital spoilers say Brooklyn and Harrison Chase will make some grand plans for their new chapter together. That's coming up on April 17 too. So it makes sense that Dante's discovery will shake things up for the happy couple. It'd be easy for Dante to overhear something he shouldn't at this party and reel as he realizes he has another kid out there. Of course, GH viewers know Dante and Brooklyn's child is living right under their noses, since Lois is hiding the fact that Giovanni Gio Palmieri is their son. The Gio shocker will presumably come down the road, but Dante could at least find out about Brooklyn's secret baby and the connection she robbed him of for now. Whatever the case, Sunny will throw a birthday shindig for Dante, and perhaps make a prediction about it being a party to remember. This could indeed be a memorable bash if Dante gets updates on what Brooklyn's been hiding all these years. General Hospital spoilers reveal that 3 devastating breakups will change Port Charles. These couples are destined to fall apart, so here's what GH fans can expect in the coming months. 1. Drew and Willow. First, we should talk about Willow Corinthos and Drew Kane. Since Willow thinks Drew is an amazing guy when he's actually a lying schemer, the show's setting her up for a huge fall. At some point, Willow will see Drew for who he really is, and the result won't be pretty. You can bet Willow will eventually discover Drew's hookups with Nina Reeves and plenty of other dirty little secrets he's been keeping. Despite Drew's predictions about starting a new chapter with Willow, things are going to crumble between them eventually. Willow will turn against Drew, so it's just a matter of time until this breakup happens. That could pave the way for Willow to turn vengeful, and it could open the door to some other romantic possibilities too. Whether Willow goes crawling back to Michael Corinthos or falls for someone else, big changes are headed her way. 2. Carly and Brennan. Of course, Carly Spencer and Jack Brennan are another couple destined for a split. Brennan is keeping disturbing secrets of his own, like Jocelyn Jack's role in Cyrus Renault's demise, and the fact that he put her on the path to committing that crime. Brennan also covered up Jocelyn's involvement and made sure Jason Morgan's hairs were planted at the cabin. The worst part is that Brennan has now recruited Jocelyn for risky WSB work, so Carly's in for a rude awakening down the road. There's no way Carly will stand by and tolerate the sneaky moves Brennan has made, so it's safe to say they'll break up once his secrets are exposed. Although Carly will be furious and brokenhearted, she could potentially reunite with Sonny Corinthos once she's single again. Carly might get a good dose of revenge on Brennan as well, so she's poised to experience a transformation. 3. Liz and Lucky. Elizabeth Baldwin and Lucky Spencer are another couple on the verge of some bad breakup news. Lucky is lying to Liz about the car crash and hiding Kristina Corinthos Davis' guilt, but he can't keep a lid on this forever. What happens once Liz finds out Lucky deceived her? Instead of building trust with Elizabeth again, Lucky is creating what'll turn out to be trust issues instead. In other words, this reconnection is destined for disaster now that Lucky's tangled up in the sabotaged car crisis. Will Lucky end up with Kristina after his reunion with Elizabeth is ruined? Time will tell, but Liz and Lucky's latest attempt to restore their together may be short-lived. General Hospital spoilers say several Port Charles residents will have to make some updates to their love leaves after the shockers and shakeups ahead. The devastating death of Molly and TJ's surrogate baby has shaken the couple to its core on General Hospital. After Rick didn't pull any punches in court while defending Ava, Molly realized that after the heartbreaking loss, she no longer wanted to have kids. Ever. TJ admitted that he was dismayed that she couldn't confide her grief in him. Then he ended up walking out the door when she made her declaration. Kristen Vagenos opened up about why that split happened. Molly and TJ have been together since they were teenagers. Although they opted for a domestic partnership instead of a traditional marriage, they seemed like they could weather anything. They even got past the fact that Molly slept with Brando when she thought TJ was ghosting her. But when Kristina took a header out of a third-story Metro Court hotel room, thereby losing the child she was carrying for her sister and brother-in-law, the beginning of the end for them was in sight. Vagenos explained to Soap Opera Digest that the two characters grieve differently, with Molly immersing herself in her work to escape the unimaginable pain. TJ wanted them to grieve as a couple, but she stated that to sit in it, to pause and stop, and really sit in it with him, is too painful. She felt that for them to look at each other in the aftermath was just a harsh and painful reminder of what they lost. She also felt that Molly was at the end of her rope, with no more strength to give to the situation. Sadly, that realization meant that the two were headed for Splitsville. And then on top of that, you add the notion that TG wants to try again to have a baby, and Molly just doesn't have that in her, she said. Vagenos also explained that she and Bello went to great lengths to ensure they were doing justice to their characters, since the relationship began way back in 2012 with different actors playing the parts. According to TV Insider, young and the Restless alum Daniel Goddard is joining General Hospital. He's slated to play Port Charles University professor Henry Dalton, a new character whose name has already been mentioned on Canvas. More details on this story below. As per the TV Insider report, Goddard will make his debut in the land of Port Charles on Tuesday, April 15. Goddard told TV Insider that, first and foremost, it's an absolute pleasure to be back in daytime. Goddard had been teasing something big on social media recently in multiple Instagram posts. He was quick to add he couldn't reveal details at the time. Many fans believed that the actor might be returning to Genoa City to reprise his young and the Restless character, Kate Nashby, a role he was in from 2007 to 2019. Especially in light of a new storyline that has emerged surrounding mysterious and unknown figure Aristotle Dumas. The actor tells TV Insider that in December of last year, he received a call from Michael Bruno, his former manager, who wanted to throw his hat in the ring for a role on GH. At that point in time, the role he auditioned for was WSB agent Jack Brennan. The part was eventually awarded to veteran soap actor Chris McKenna. When it comes to Daniel Goddard's experience on the ABC soap so far, Goddard states, "It has been an extraordinary, wonderful experience so far." Will this new character be a good guy or bad guy? It's hard to say, but as the professor is part of Jocelyn Jack's new WSB mission, it's likely that Goddard's GH character is leaning toward villain status. His name was just mentioned during the Thursday, April 10 episode, so only time will tell. He might not be everyone's hero, the same way that he might not be everyone's villain. Of course, we are talking about Jason Morgan on General Hospital. While a lot of people were absolutely thrilled to hear the news that Steve Burton would be reprising his role back in 2024, there's also heavy speculation suggesting his time in Port Charles might be up. In fact, we've even got 5 reasons it might be time for Jason Morgan to leave the show altogether. Jason's lost his sense of direction. A lot of General Hospital fans would agree that Jason has lost his sense of direction. He wants to take care of Sasha's child, but for some reason or another, he's neglecting the needs of his own children. His secrets don't make sense. Along with Sasha, Jason is keeping the secret that his nephew Michael Corinthos is the father of Sasha's baby. He's also claiming to be the father of Sasha's unborn child, which doesn't make sense. Why not just come out with the truth? Anger issues. Back in November 2024, Jason beat up Drew for betraying their nephew Michael when he had an affair with his wife. Not only that, but he also pistol whipped Sidwell in defense of Lucky. Tone it down, Jason. He's lost his touch. It seems like Jason Morgan has lost his touch. He's no longer the stone-cold Jason Morgan that everyone knew from back in the day. He's lost his emotions. A lot of General Hospital fans would agree that Jason used to be the man that could barely contain his emotions for anyone, and that he would never put his boys last for anyone. Times have certainly changed for him, right? If it's not the old Jason Morgan, we don't want him anymore. It goes without saying that fans will simply have to tune in each and every day to find out what will happen next. Watch this space. General Hospital airs weekdays on the ABC network. Check your local listings for times. In the meantime, let us know what you think by leaving us a line with your thoughts in our comment section below. General Hospital comings and goings just dropped a shocker. Michael Corinthos may return to Port Charles, but with a new face. A now deleted post on X has fans buzzing about a major casting shift. All signs point to a recast in the works. When Chad Duell exited the show, it left fans stunned. At the time, the producers didn't confirm a full goodbye. Frank Valentini said there were no plans to recast, leaving the door slightly open. But that was months ago, and now the tone feels very different. GH appears ready to move forward without waiting for Duell's return. Robert Adamson, who previously stepped in as a temporary Michael, recently broke his silence. In a now-deleted X post, he shared some sharp words about the situation. He sarcastically thanked General Hospital for letting him audition, then reminded everyone that he played Michael 3 times with no notice. Despite his history with the role, Adamson wasn't asked to read for the part this time. His post suggests GH is already in talks, or perhaps already cast, someone new. This post ignited speculation and disappointment among viewers who supported Adamson for a permanent return. Michael is a legacy character. He's tied to several important storylines, from Willow's recovery to Sunny's mob drama. Leaving Michael off screen for too long creates a vacuum in Port Charles. If Chad Duell won't return, GH needs a solution. A recast would bring energy back to the canvas without delaying key plots. The show clearly wants to keep storylines moving. That's why fans believe a new Michael may be on the way very soon. Fan reactions are mixed. Some want Chad Duell back, feeling no one else can fill his shoes. Others say the show should bring Michael back, regardless of who plays him. A recast could open the door for new story arcs and fresh chemistry. Either way, fans agree that Michael is a crucial part of the show. His return, no matter the actor, will drive major drama. General Hospital spoilers tease that Michael is healing fast. That could mean he's preparing for a return to Port Charles. A comeback may be just around the corner. If true, GA is laying the groundwork for his re-entry. A new actor could easily be slipped into the role with this timing. Viewers should get ready. Michael's storyline is far from over, and a new face could mean unexpected twists. General Hospital has a long history of successful recasts. While some take time to win over fans, others become instant favorites. The show knows how to handle these transitions. If a new actor takes over, it could mark the beginning of a powerful new chapter for Michael Corinthos. General Hospital comings and goings are hinting at a bold move. A Michael recast could shift the balance in Port Charles and bring long-awaited tension to the screen. Stay with Soap Opera Daily for all the latest casting buzz and breaking soap news. The drama is just getting started. Why they don't talk? Jason wanted to, but I'm not understanding the hostility from Drew. They had bonded before all that craziness happened. There is no reason why they can't get along and not be brothers. We've discussed this before, but after all this time it's zero interest, and it would really make it more interesting and add a lot to the show if they had a regular relationship. When Jason came back, it was Drew who immediately ended things with Carly, but I think there is some lingering bitterness from Drew's side for Jason returning from the dead and impending his relationship with Carly. I also think the writers like the default condition of that twin-sibling relationship being a tension between the two, so when the two inevitably down the line need each other's help, they can write to the thaw in that relationship. Perhaps we will get those scenes when Monica passes away. There's no continuity or consistency as far as the writing. Probably due the changeover of writers. I mean, look at all that has taken place. Anna is totally anti-Sunny when months ago she was literally falling apart and crying on his shoulder after she shot Charlotte. Laura also turned on him because of what he did to Cyrus, which doesn't make sense, because if anything she should have that same contempt for Cyrus for putting her daughter in a coma and killing her boyfriend. And now this whole Heather Weber mess has her looking highly incompetent. As for Drew, he has been a real disappointment since they brought him back on. As I said, no offense to Cameron Matheson, who I think is a wonderful actor, but the writing lately has been terrible in my opinion. As far as Willow is concerned, many used what happened with Chase as not being surprised by her actions, but those were different circumstances. It was still wrong, but I can understand. But this thing with Drew, I don't understand, and why they would write it this way, creating even more of a possible divide between mother and daughter, and possibly destroying a family and totally destroying the character of Drew, who had so much potential. Definitely agree that they have made Drew very unlikable. All I can think of is that Drew stated to Willow things would be different if they had met at a different time in life and circumstances. When would that have been, Drew? Based on when Michael was born, and Jason's age at the time, you would have been in your 20s when Willow was born. So maybe when she hit 18 years old. Exactly when would have been a good time to meet? Drew is jealous and bitter because Jason always gets the girl. He should be grateful to Jason for saving his life. He should put family over relationships, especially considering relationships don't really seem all that important to him. He dropped Carly like a hot potato. He hates Nina, but continues having sex with her on the office floor. He clearly doesn't have any respect for marriage vows. And Jason is the bad guy? They need counseling. Both of their issues with each other run deep. Jason escapes from 6 years' captivity and finds Drew using his name, his money, living in his penthouse, married to his wife, and she had just given him the baby girl named Emily that they had both dreamed of. Sam literally dreamed it. Then after Jason shows up, he gradually takes back his life, and Sam soon followed. It's like they both took everything from each other, and neither one is at fault, and I think they know that, but... So when Drew came back and set out on his apology tour, my hero brother saved my life, and I am so sorry I lived and he didn't. I thought to myself, wow, this doesn't sound like Drew at all, but it's nice to hear maybe they could have been loving brothers after all. Oh well. In a shocking development shaking the foundations of several relationships in Port Charles, General Hospital delivers one of its most intense custody battles yet, centered around Willow, Carly, and the future of Wiley and Amelia. At the core of the conflict is a revelation that rewrites the very definition of family for the Corinthos household. Michael Corinthos is not Wiley's biological father. Carly Spencer finds herself in a legal and emotional battle as Willow announces plans to relocate herself and her 2 children, Wiley and Amelia, into the home of Drew Kane. Michael, incapacitated and recovering from severe injuries in Germany, is unable to intervene, leaving Carly to act on his behalf. Viewing Willow's move as a threat to Michael's parental rights and the children's stability, Carly initiates legal proceedings, asserting that Michael remains the children's legal father and guardian. Despite Carly's aggressive legal response, Willow remains firm. With Michael absent and her children in need of consistency, she turns to Drew, whose past, though marred by espionage, now serves as a backdrop to his role as a stabilizing force. Willow justifies her decision as being rooted in the children's best interests, prioritizing emotional security over legal technicalities. The courtroom drama escalates when Willow discloses a long-guarded secret. Michael is not Wiley's biological father. This revelation dismantles Carly's case, which is built on the presumption of familial blood ties. The origin of this information traces back to Nell Benson, who once confided in Willow that Wiley was the result of an affair with an unidentified man, unrelated to the Corinthos lineage. The secret, kept under wraps amid personal trauma and ongoing legal stress, is now thrust into the spotlight. Carly's initial reaction is to suppress the information from Michael, fearing that it could hinder his physical and emotional recovery. Her protective instincts place her at odds with the truth, creating a moral paradox. Protect Michael's well-being or maintain transparency at the risk of unraveling familial trust. Ultimately, Carly concedes to Willow's plan, recognizing that continuing the battle without a biological claim would be futile and potentially harmful. She chooses to prioritize the children's safety and Michael's recovery, allowing the relocation to proceed quietly. Willow's confession marks not the end, but a transition into a new quest, discovering Wiley's true parentage. This pursuit, driven by her maternal need to provide her son with a complete sense of identity, opens the door to further narrative complexity. Meanwhile, Drew Kane, now positioned as a surrogate father, must balance this unexpected responsibility with the volatile emotional terrain of the Corinthos family. As the news spreads, the social fabric of Port Charles begins to shift. Community members take sides, some aligning with Carly's defense of Michael's rights, others supporting Willow's pursuit of stability. Public discourse intensifies, fueled by speculation over Wiley's paternity and the implications for all parties involved. This storyline transcends traditional custody drama. It delves into deeper themes of identity, loyalty, and the sacrifices inherent in protecting loved ones. Michael's physical vulnerability mirrors the fragility of emotional truths, while Carly's maternal tenacity collides with Willow's unwavering commitment to her children. Drew's transformation from solitary operative to family guardian introduces new emotional stakes as he navigates loyalty and leadership within an improvised family unit. At its core, this arc underscores the evolving definition of family, no longer constrained by bloodlines, but shaped by love, responsibility, and resilience. As Michael's return looms, the fallout from Willow's revelation is far from over. Port Charles remains in flux, with alliances shifting and relationships redefined. The quest to uncover Wiley's biological father, the ramifications for Drew's newfound role, and the broader legal implications promise continued turbulence. In true General Hospital fashion, this emotionally charged narrative invites viewers to reflect on what truly constitutes family, and how far individuals will go to protect it. General Hospital spoilers for Monday, April 14, reveal that scared Willow Corinthos will retaliate, while Kristina Corinthos Davis gets blindsided. Rick Lansing will also warn a Smug. Ava Jerome, so let's talk about what's ahead in Port Charles. For starters, Trina Robinson will ask Portia Robinson what she's found out about Kai Taylor's surgery, so she'll remain concerned about him and will want to know everything she can about what he's signing up for. Although Portia feels like this procedure is a good option for Kai, Drew Kane's involvement comes with questions about his motives. As a result, Trina will open up to Portia about her lingering fears on Monday's show. As for Willow, she'll be scared there's some truth to Carly Spencer's prediction about taking the kids away. Drew has promised not to let that happen, but Willow will still share her worries with Nina Reeves. Willow will ultimately make a huge choice on Monday's episode, so could she do an about-face on her decision to move in with Drew? Will this involve trying to get a restraining order against Carly or some other legal maneuver to block her instead? In Jack Brennan's suite, Carly will drop the confident act and admit she might have just handed Michael Corinthos' children over to Willow and Drew. Nevertheless, Brennan will give Carly some reassurance and help her with some strategies to fight whatever Willow might be cooking up with Drew's help. Meanwhile, Sonny Corinthos will quiz Laura Collins about whether somebody is pressuring her to come after him. Laura has no intention of being a backstabber, but she may admit all this drama with Ezra Boyle could get ugly. Sonny will also have concerns about the referendum that's coming up for the Esplanade's location, since this will really serve as a vote on the mob boss in his territory. At GH, Rick will try to dial Ava's smug attitude down a notch. When it comes to this whole blackmail situation, Rick will warn that it may not be the done deal that Ava thinks it is. Although Ava will believe she's got Alexis Davis right where she wants her, Alexis just made a bold move that's going to change the game. At Diane Miller's urging, Alexis told her to go ahead and file the papers to have Kristina committed. That means Kristina is about to be blindsided by Alexis' decision to force her into treatment. It'll be for Kristina's own good, since it might be the only way to save her from prison, not to mention she genuinely needs professional help. Molly Lansing Davis will add to Kristina's guilt on Monday's episode by talking about the one good thing to come from her dad's accident. Perhaps Molly will be referring to her mended relationship with Kristina now that they're acting like real sisters again. However, both Molly and Kristina are in for a shock when they get updates on Alexa's paperwork to have Kristina thrown in a mental institution. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.